New data from the Singapore Prison Service shows drug offenders in halfway house programs are less likely to reoffend upon release. But successful reintegration is not just up to the halfway house staff. It requires a combined effort from external employers, family, and most importantly, the offenders themselves. CNA's Aslam Shah had exclusive access to halfway houses across Singapore, and you visited them, you saw how they worked on the ground. How do they work?
Yes, so Wesu, in the past few years covering the crime beat, I've had the opportunity to interview a number of drug offenders. And many of these drug offenders, they've had multiple offences. Some even had over 10 offences. Now, according to data from the Singapore Prison Service, those who commit drug offences are 3 times more likely to reoffend compared with other crimes. Now, all this just goes to show the daunting task ahead for drug offenders when it comes to staying clean. But amid all this, halfway houses, they offer hope, and they have consistently proven to be effective in helping drug offenders. And the data speaks for itself. Now, you can see this shows 2-year recidivism rates, which is after being released from prison, within 2 years, did they offend or not? Now, about 23.5%. Now, the line in blue shows that if they had gone through halfway house programs, this is the percentage of the reoffenders, and the red line if they did not go through the program. Now, the latest data in 2022 shows that about 23.5% who goes through the halfway house program reoffended, but if they did not, it's much higher at about 29.7%. Now, the goal at halfway houses is basically to help the residents secure employment and also accommodation upon their release. And halfway houses have been rather effective in this as well. On average, about 60% get some form of employment or training, and almost all of them get accommodation. So I managed to visit a few halfway houses and speak to some of the residents. Now, these are really the faces behind the statistics that you just saw. And their journey really tell a story of hope and also challenges in the long road to recovery. Let's have a look.
Here at HCSA High Point, nearly half the residents are 55 or older. For many like Aaron, who for privacy isn't his real name, this isn't their first time in the system. At 55, Aaron has battled addiction since he was just 11 and has been incarcerated 7 times. It's the unwavering support of the staff and their relentless dedication that fuels Aaron's hope that this time he's truly turned the page on his past and had his last dance with the law.
When I go back to drug, I have to lose a lot of things. My family, my loved one, my mother. I say no lah. I hate this drug. Frankly speaking, brother, I really am sick and tired of this. They support me. They care for me. It's not easy to come in, not by chance, no. They really support. I say, okay, I come in. But it's a short term only. I want a long term. My life, I see.
Even after leaving the halfway house prematurely, the support never wavered. Aaron faced shame and guilt when he was suspected of relapsing. But now, he's determined to finish the program and build the long-term life he's been striving for. A life where he's drug-free, close to his family, and able to focus on his passion for fitness and sports. But Aaron's journey is just one part of the bigger picture. For Chan Ah Chin, after multiple incarcerations, completing the program at the Helping Hand was his turning point. Finally, he believes he has genuinely turned the corner. And just like Aaron, he continues to stay connected to the program, taking on a security role at the Helping Hand as he gives back and builds on his new life.
Now my mother also happy see I change already. Last time I come out few weeks only I smoke already. Now my mother very happy. My mother also 96 years old already. No more go back old time that time take drug or what My family still wait for me. All the staff quite good with me. Some teach you how to do things, how to respect people, how to talk to people.
The role of family is crucial, even for the younger ones. For Jack, not his real name, his family has stood by him throughout his 20-year battle with drugs and his 4th time in rehabilitation. He doesn't want to disappoint his family anymore. He hopes that a career in F&B will be the first step towards a better life ahead.
I think it's a wake-up call. My mom is also getting old, my parents are getting older, and I don't have much time. So I would really want to spend my time with them because they have always been there for me.
Not their real names in some cases. So Jack and Aaron, Archin, that's his real name. You can see, as you say, the faces behind the figures. What these halfway houses offer is tough love in a way, jobs, training, accommodation, but they are very hard to run, are they not?
Absolutely, Wei Su. Now, just to give a context, when drug offenders serve the tail end of their sentence, some of them may have the opportunity to serve it at community programs. So some may be able to serve part of their sentence at their homes under very strict supervision, some with some form of work, also under supervision, and halfway house is a scheme by itself. So in these halfway house, about 11 of them all across Singapore are partnered with the Singapore Prison Service, and they go through a very structured program, a very standard program, and they have a network of partners to help these residents overcome their drug addictions and problems. Now, among the programs that are available is actually counseling by the staff, and also things like training for particular skills so that they can achieve the objectives that I've shared earlier, gaining employment. And in addition to that, to ensure that their reintegration back to society is smooth, they are also allowed to go out of these halfway houses to go and gain skills, gain work, and also spend time with their family. But sometimes, Wei Su, things don't really go according to plan. And, you know, it's really a balancing act. How much freedom do you give residents so that they can, you know, integrate well back into society? But, you know, sometimes this freedom can be taken advantage of. And I managed to see the realities when it comes to running a halfway house. Let's have a look.
What started as a day filled with hope and progress quickly turned into a stark reminder of how fragile the road to recovery can be, with a few residents ending up in handcuffs. Just hours earlier, the day began with surprise urine tests. One by one, they were escorted to provide samples. Most tested negative, but even one mistake can set back months of hard work.
So in cases where the resident cannot produce a urine sample, or if there's a positive test, searches will be done at the bunk. Now, for positive test cases, they will be brought to the Central Narcotics Bureau for further testing, where they could eventually face fresh charges. Now let's see what they are looking for.
The police are on the lookout for any controlled drugs or contraband like alcohol, cigarettes and vapes. All medication must have a valid prescription. Anything else gets flagged for further investigation. No item goes unchecked, and every part of the bunk is thoroughly searched. It's a constant reminder that in this environment, even the smallest slip-up can jeopardize a resident's recovery.
See, operation is important in order to deter the drug abuse in the halfway house, so that to set an example for others to stop all the drug abuse.
During this operation, cigarettes and vapes were found. Halfway houses are also noticing new tools and substances emerging, ones that can evade urine tests and undermine the entire rehabilitation process.
The main problem that we face is K-box. Because K-box is something that we can't detect at all. No urine sample, and then no indication is that potential is it a vape or K-box. It's almost same like a vape. Yeah.
Well, what is the impact?
So the impacts when they smoke it, then they will get high in 20 minutes in a very fast way, and some again cannot take it. They will just overdose.
For most, the journey to reintegration continues. For others, that journey just got longer and harder.
A part of your exclusive access was being able to film that operation. How did you film? How did you feel watching it?
Well, it was really heartbreaking, Wei Su. I was just with the residents and the staff a week before that, and there was a lot of hope, a lot of resolve. Let's not forget that these residents who get to serve part of their sentence at halfway house feel lucky to be able to do so. So being caught with contraband items, and possibly face fresh charges, it's really a setback in their journey.
All right. All the many challenges you outlined, and one that we have not got to yet, we heard in in that report when you're speaking to that officer, when you said K-pods. So new substances, even as you solve old problems, are presenting new problems.
Yes. So there is an emergence of new psychoactive substances, or NPS. These drugs, they mimic the effects of regular controlled drugs, more commonly known like heroin or marijuana, but they are chemically different in structure. So they may not present as a positive urine test. Now, there's emergence of this, and they may not result in a positive test in those urine tests that you saw. So what I noticed is that many halfway houses are engaging ex-abusers to come to join them in order to be able to tell whether someone is actually high or abusing particular substances. And I managed to speak to one at HCSA. He was an ex-abuser and now manager at the halfway house. Here's what he had to say.
A lot of those synthetic drugs coming out, you really cannot test. You got people coming into the center, you can see they are high, But then they say, no, I'm okay, what? Yeah. But so we don't have to rely on all this hard evidence. Basically, we have to develop our own clinical skills to see the psycho, the biopsycho, the kind of thing, so that basically you can actually assess a person. You look at, hey, this guy's eye very red, walk stagger, slurring of speech, cannot put sentences together, thoughts a bit haywire, and then cannot sit down. So sometimes very easy, but not so easy. We get them to sit down, talk to them about anything. You can see the thoughts cannot gather one. Then you leave them for a while, they will doze off. Those kind of bodily, physical, manifestation of a person who is high, then with some experience, you can actually see it.
Oh, thanks, Azlam. CNA's Azlam Shah producing this report after exclusive access to Singapore's halfway house programs. Thank you.